Hello, and welcome to the HOTLCast. Kyle's back.
Hi, Kyle.
Yep.
I'm back too.
Yep.
I guess I'm here as well.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan's back.
Yeah.
Pastor Ryan. Back. Yeah. Well, great. It's good. Nick is back. Nick's been gone for like a month. So, yeah. So
You can't see him. He's behind the
if
camera.
you don't know, this was being video recorded live and in Technicolor. So, yeah.
Live and in Technicolor.
Yeah.
That's
so it's
perfect.
good.
Mark is here too.
Mark, how are you doing?
I'm back also.
Hey, Mark.
Mark
I'm back,
is back also.
3. I think I'm back
Yeah.
3.
Mark, your hair is not as pink as it used to be.
No, it's fading quick.
Yeah.
No,
Somebody asked
he would
me
be.
the other
I'm
day-
back 2. I'm back 3.
Hey,
You're back 4.
Somebody asked me the other day, he's like, so what's up with your pastor at the Jackson campus with the pink hair? And I'm like, so, yeah, that's what you people see on the internet.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So I was like, why'd you
did
do
it-
that? I was like, for youth
did it
challenge.
for a
She was
youth
like, okay,
challenge.
good. She's like, I would have said something to you
As
if you would
soon
have
as
just
they
not just
say
because.
that too, people go, "Oh, okay,
Yeah, I said
that makes
youth
sense."
challenge. Like, okay, that's fine. Yeah. So
Yeah.
You need to wear a shirt next time. It says, I did this for a youth challenge.
Oh, I should.
Yeah.
I just need to get a bunch of shirts that say that just so I can perpetually have that information ready.
Yeah, or you'd be like a middle schooler who doesn't shower and wears the same clothes every day.
Yeah,
That's called middle school camp. But, yeah.
it's true.
It's been a good summer, so we've been kind of hit or miss. The summers are kind of hard around here, but it's been good. We've done a lot of baptisms, seen a lot of life change. It's been really cool, and I'm excited about our new Holla Woods series that we're in.
Yeah.
This Sunday, we talked about the GOAT movie.
Yep.
Is it the GOAT or is it just GOAT?
It's just
It's
goat.
just goat.
GOAT.
We found that out.
It's the GOAT movie.
We
So,
put it in, and it says just the goat.
We had an
It's
interesting
goat.
conversation at dinner with friends last night about the GOAT movie, or the GOAT movie. So
Yeah.
they did not find, like, one of them only found one of the hidden goats in the image.
That's.
They're like, were there even any in there? Some
But
of them
we
were like,
had
"Were there
tons
even
of
any
kids.
them?"
The
Yeah.
kids found them right
Yeah,
away.
And so, like, I'm like, yeah, there were 11. I told them the whole story about how you thought there were 6. And then I said, like, oh, no, you got to count the poster. And I was like,
Yeah.
and then I talked about the goat up in the bushes. So, yeah.
It was. It's just. It was a shape. It wasn't a goat.
Yeah. But let me just say, I'm really sad after yesterday. A lot happened yesterday in my life, but I'm really sad because my Dinner with Friends group is over. If you don't know what Dinner with Friends is, you need to do it next time. They're going to start it back up in the fall.
Yep.
But we met 3 times. A random group of people were assigned to meet and have meals together, and you sign up to do Dinner with Friends. You're gonna have meal. You're supposed to have a meal 3 to 4 times over the next quarter with that group of people. You don't know them. It's a way to get to know people, and it's just kind of a random mix of people. But we have had so much fun. Like, I think we all said at the end, like, well, this is over. And they're like, well, we'll see you around church sometime. And so they're like, Don's like, we don't have to quit meeting. Right? It's like, yeah, we don't, because the ribs and cookies are amazing. So,
It's basically an excuse to make your best dish.
Yeah, I told him, I don't want to give you guys up because you guys are going to be hot commodities in the next reshuffling. Because
Who was it? I just need.
I'm not telling
for
you.
note
I'm not
taking
telling
purposes.
any of the names of my people in my friends group because
I'll figure it out.
I'm going to try to redraft them. It's like, how did I get the same group? I don't know.
Oh no!
But yeah, we
It's a
had
mystery.
custom cookies made, custom desserts every
I know,
meal.
I know.
It's amazing. So when it comes down to it. So if you haven't done Dinner with Friends, sign up in the fall. Yes, I know some of you are like, I don't like people, or I don't like new people, or whatever. Just do it. Like, get to know people from church. It's fantastic that you get to see people at church now that you've had meals with and a conversation with, about their life. I love it. And it's fun to hear. They all go to different services. So it's kind of fun to hear perspectives from all 3 of our church services because we have the responsive first service, we have the vibrant, lively second service, and then we have the chill third service. And it's kind of fun to hear all the conversations across the different services that we have. And nobody goes to Jackson campus, so sorry, Mark.
That's okay.
In my friends group, but.
That's okay.
So that's kind of Dinner with Friends. So are you guys in Dinner with Friends? You're in Dinner with Friends?
Yeah. We have a group we've got together a couple times.
So are you getting together one more time before the end, or?
I assume so. I am not the organizing person.
yeah.
I just go where I'm called.
We're signing up for the next batch, and we bet. Like, the other thing that's great is if people are, after they go to Dinner with Friends, the idea is like they'll get involved in some kind of life group, or if they're not already, like, it's a great onboarding process for our life groups, which meet regularly, and the people that go and they really find their tribe, their community of people. So
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. So check it out. But let's get back to the GOAT movie.
goat movie.
The GOAT movie, it's hard to do. Let me ask you this. I asked people, I got all kinds of random responses on Sunday, so I didn't get your guys' specific responses. Who is the GOAT? You can't say Jesus. That's always the right answer. Who's the GOAT?
Like,
No, I'm not. There's no.
we're just gonna say the
I'm gonna
greatest
say,
of all time.
Who is the greatest of all time?
In what category?
In any,
No, when I say goat, what
he's
comes
gonna
to,
say a
who's the
musician.
goat? What comes to mind?
Will?
Smith.
No, because the goat's name is Will in the movie.
Okay. Mark, this is why you're not on camera most of the time. Yeah. Ryan, when I say who's the goat,
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm an '80s
okay.
kid, so it's always going to be Michael Jordan.
Jordan, okay.
It's always
Jordan.
going to be Jordan.
Okay. Cody, who's the goat?
I mean, I think Bill Russell is probably up there.
You're saying basketball, okay?
Yeah.
I say
Nick behind the camera. Who's the goat?
Jordan.
Okay.
A serious answer. Paul from the Bible, not basketball. I really like Paul
That's
and
great.
all he did.
I mean, Bill
So-
Russell winning 11 championships. I think that's
Is better than
11
Paul.
out of 12.
Is better than Paul.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Paul's pretty great. That's not
Are,
going to
are you talking about basketball specifically?
No, it's fine that Paul is your answer since I took away Jesus
you
being an answer.
interpret GOAT, however, I mean, some people would say Tom Brady.
Who is the greatest? Let's just go. Who's the greatest athlete of all time?
Arnold Palmer.
Michael Jordan for sure. Hands
It's
down.
definitely not Jordan. If we go
think so.
athlete,
If we're
it's
going
not Jordan.
athlete,
It's not
I think
Jordan.
No.
Barry Sanders has to be in the conversation.
not
the
Barry
greatest,
Sanders, no.
greatest athlete of
Like
all time.
all around athlete.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
It's-
I don't have that information
For sure, right now it's Lionel Messi. What he has accomplished in soccer.
Okay, but you're saying
it's-
overall.
overall, it's not going to be replicated in our lifetime. What he's been able to do, winning the Ballon d'Or.
I mean,
whatever,
listen, I don't
it's-
disagree
it's
that
insane
Messi.
what he's been able to accomplish.
The problem is, and I think this is the problem with any quantifier, like there's conditions for that quantifier. It's impossible to be the
I would
greatest
say
of all
the
time
condition would
in
be-
every category,
would be
right?
that you dominated your
Because
sport
you put
to a level.
you put Lionel
that makes you
Messi
the
in
goat.
in the NBA.
No,
he's
it doesn't.
getting
It
squashed.
doesn't. But you got to
Yeah.
keep it in perspective to their sport.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like
Yeah.
in perspective of their sport, then I'd say it's Michael Phelps.
Basketball is played
mean-
now internationally.
Michael
But
Phelps.
Michael
Soccer
Phelps.
is played all
Yeah.
over the globe. It's the most played sport in
Yes.
the globe, and Lionel Messi has dominated it to a level that no one has ever done or will do in the next probably 40 years. It's insane.
I mean, but every record.
Football, Tom Brady's
can
the
get
GOAT,
broken.
but Patrick Mahomes is probably going to replace him. Let's just be honest. He's already got a lot of championships. By the time he gets through the end, he may replace him.
Yeah.
So it's just that's going to happen. There's not going to be able to replace
Yeah.
Messi for a long time.
And the other problem is there's so many emotions tied to the interpretation of who is actually good. If you just go based on stats, there'd be a different GOAT in every sport.
Yeah,
Right? The problem is you don't go based on stats.
You go by
You go
awards.
based on team impact, you go based on fan base, you go based on popularity. Like, I mean, who's to say that there's not a much more talented soccer player that just has no exposure and has
that's
never
true.
played professionally? Like we talk about it all the time. Like track and field, the fastest people in the world are probably not running track and field. Like that's the reality. They're probably in FIFA. They're probably in the NFL. Like, so the reality is like impact on the sport. Is that matter? Like,
I don't know.
you
Usain
know,
Bolt was kind of tough.
Usain Bolt is insane,
kinda
right?
fast, yeah.
I think he's probably will go down as the fastest man of all time, and I don't think that's a record that I don't think is going to get broke for a long time. But then, you know, like, do you talk about impact of the sport? I mean, I don't know. So there's all these
Now,
layers.
if we go to impact of the Bible, then Paul.
Yes.
Good one.
Yeah, it depends on your impact. I don't know.
Yeah,
Impact
if we're saying
globally,
Jesus is out.
definitely Paul. If Jesus is out, like
Yeah.
he's default yes. For
Honorable mention, David.
Yeah, but definitely Paul is a GOAT. So we agree with you there. So, but this week we talked about the GOAT movie, and we could have just talked about the greatest of all time. We heard Harry Potter, we heard Michael Jackson. I mean, people kind of went off the rails, so like we had to kind of change that. But when it comes down to it, the theme of the movie beyond greatest of all time was really dreaming big. And so we talked about dreaming big, and we talked about how essentially the Bible makes it clear in Ephesians 3 that God can do more than we could ever think or ask because he's the creator of the cosmos, the universe, everything in it. And so we are so limited in our human perception that our dreams, although they may seem big, they're nothing like the dreams God has for us and the plan he has for our lives. So what do you think about the idea of just dreaming big, but following God's big dream for our life and not our own?
I like to ask the students, it's kind of a trap question, if I'm being honest. So like, I kind of don't want to tell the students that it's a trap question because I'm kind of giving my trade secrets away. But the question is, if money, like if you won all the money in the world, like unlimited monies, what is the first thing you would do? Because I think that is the most telling thing when it comes to how your dreams align with where God is, like in your life.
Question. Right.
Because
let's ask Ryan that question.
Ryan.
I like this. This is a good question. If you had all the money in the world, what would you do with it? If you were Elon Musk, what would you do with it?
Probably a lot of things. You know what I mean? I would do good with it. I wouldn't need it. I'd probably keep what I needed and give the rest away on some level. You know. I mean, I've already decided that. Like we've kind of talked about those things. Like, Like you know, I mean, in the event that I came into a big sum of money, we give the church theirs. You know, give God His right off the rip, and you know, pay the bills and help, and you know, I mean, I don't need that much. I'm doing all right as it is, so I don't really need any more. God's already given me enough. So I don't know, you know. I don't think it's moving the needle in my life.
Yeah. I've thought about this lots. What would I do if I had Elon Musk money? And I would crash the economy of the globe, and I would buy as much land as I could. I would create as much grain and produce as I could, and I would send it to nations free of charge.
Yeah, just take care of world hunger.
I mean, he's worth what, $1 trillion? I would spend hundreds of billions doing this. Because
it would probably only cost you. It would probably cost you a staggeringly low amount.
Yeah, why would I need all that money?
And it would shock probably the world how little it actually would cost to do it.
And I people say, yeah, right, you wouldn't do that. You'd be so rich. You know, no, that's what I would do. Yeah, I 100% would. I mean, I'd have a house in Tuscany too. I would literally buy a house in Tuscany.
Yeah,
and I would do it from there. And I would start Heart of the Lakes Church in Tuscany. Yeah, and I would just kind of keep rolling. But like, I literally would just. I don't need.
I think we've talked about this. Like, a lot of people, their first thing is like, I'd retire. I'd be done. Like, you know, whatever. Like, their dream is like, hey, I'd be retired. I'd be done. Like, and I just go like, the work is never finished. Like, I'm going to say this, it's going to sound harsh, but it's really not harsh. If you truly love Jesus Christ, the work is never done until you're dead. Like, and that is the truth. And like, the work of it is disciple making, practically doing ministry, serving with your hands. And like, I mean, that you find that the happiest people who are retired from their vocational jobs are serving in ministry. Like, they're the most happy because they have invested back into the kingdom. And like, when I think about like the same thing, like if I got a bunch of money, I mean, all of the things that I would do are ministry. Like, they're all ministry. Everything I would do would be ministry oriented. Like, I would, all the ministries that are underfunded and struggling, that are doing great work, I would fund them, right? Like, to the degree that they need it. And like, you know, like I talk about our church, like we would do everything that we needed to take care of all of the people in our church in perpetuity, like, and make sure that the church had a future for a long time, you know, with guidelines. But like, it's complicated, but like, it is telling. Like, when I ask students this, you know, like, I know where they're at based on their answer, because a lot of them, I buy this and I buy this and I buy this. And if your buy is all about what are you doing, then your dreams are not aligned with Jesus. Like, if your buy or your investment is all about other people, there's a better chance that you're in alignment with Jesus. It doesn't necessarily mean you are. So like, when it comes down to it, like what Kyle was talking about on Sunday about dreaming big is like, God wants us to dream big for His kingdom. Yeah. Like, so that when we're doing things, like, we're actively pursuing advancing the kingdom of God and genuinely making an impact in people's lives, not just buying their affection or, you know, like,
yeah, non-transactional, right? Like I think we're called to not transact, right? We're called to be of service, to give without expecting anything in return. And so I think in this bubble of having all wealth, it could create a space in which not only I don't have to transact, but I could create a situation where maybe millions of people don't have to transact, and then therefore it creates a void where service could fill that void, and then they can go forth. I mean, I could see how that could be a butterfly type effect.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I think we talk about, we kind of ask people to think about these questions like, are you building your kingdom, your dreams, your earthly kingdom, your desires, or are you building the Lord's? Are you building God's kingdom? And if you're building God's kingdom, you have to sacrifice your desire to build your kingdom for his. And that means, the question we really challenge people to do is pray every day before your feet hit the floor, before you get out of bed, say, Lord, interrupt my plans with yours today. And then just watch what God does. I'm telling you, it'll rock your whole world. And hopefully, hopefully when God rocks your paradigm, it's gonna really change your peace, your hope, your joy, your perspective. I prayed that prayer yesterday, and my whole day went crazy. So it was good. But it was crazy. And when you do that, when you release God to be in full control, it's a ride. And it's a good ride. Doesn't mean it's easy. Doesn't mean you don't get persecution. Doesn't mean you don't get attacked. But it's a good ride, and you're at peace.
I think that's another really cool point that you made. I don't think that if your dream is for it to be easier for you, that it's necessarily going to be in alignment with Jesus either. Because I hate the idea. I hate the idea that Jesus called us to ease and comfort. That's not what Jesus called us to. He called us to peace, but peace is a choice made through the power of the Holy Spirit, to be at peace with things. And it doesn't mean that hardships don't exist. Hardships will continue to exist. And all the money in the world, isn't going to change the difficulty of living a life for Christ, because Jesus told us it was going to be difficult. If we don't have friction, I think a lot of times, especially because I get to spend time with all these kids that don't go to church and all these families that don't go to church because I'm in the schools. The things that I hear all the time is what people's dreams are, what their hope for the future is. What do they want? How do they want it? And a lot of parents will say, I just want my kids to never have to have any hardships whatsoever. And I go, gosh, not me. I hope they have lots of hardships and they triumph over them, and they're proud of what God has done in their life to help them triumph over those hardships. I don't want them to have an easy life because because I did something to make it happen. I want them to know that there's peace in Jesus through difficult times, no matter what. And so and parents will go, well, but you don't understand. That's what I want for my kid. And that's fine. That's fine. But I would argue that I don't think that's what Jesus called us to. Our relationship with Christ is his burden is light, but that's because he takes the burden away. It doesn't mean that the burden is no longer existent. And so we have to weather those storms and figure that out. And I would argue that any dream, right? Any dream that we have that we're pushing for, and we go hey, I want this to be easy. And I want it to be super, not have any friction, no tension, whatever. I would just say I think that that's probably not also in alignment with what Jesus has called us to, right? Mm-hmm. Jesus bled and died on the cross. And then the Gospels talk about it in depth. And then the epistles where Paul is talking to the churches, and they say, take up your cross daily. That's not that's an abrasive statement. This is going to be tough. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. It's going to be tough, but it'll be worth it. And I think really that's more where the dream needs to go.
That checks out. Suffering is part of being human, right?
Yeah.
And so, and suffering is one of those things we either choose it or it chooses for us.
Yeah.
And often when the world chooses it for us, or we can choose God, and we can, and it's an easy now, hard later, right? And so when I choose the easy now and don't consider the consequence, I end up with a worldly consequence, and I end up with a godly consequence. But when I choose the hard now, I get that peace. Just on the other side of that hard now is all that peace that God offers me and all those fruits that God gives me. And just if I'm willing to choose the hard now. Right. So, yeah.
There's this cross-country coach that has this quote. I love this. I've used it in ministry because I just think it works great. But he said, we're coaching a delayed cross country, you have to run so much. The kids are running miles every day, to prepare for in high school, a 3.1 mile race, a 5K, and in college, a 10K or an 8K. And they're spending their entire season preparing for these races, right? And incrementally getting better as they go. And what he said, and I love this quote, is we coach a delayed gratification sport in an instant gratification world. And like, I think the same is true about our as pastors in ministry.
Yeah.
We are trying to help people understand eternal concepts, right? Delayed gratification in an instant gratification world. And I just think that concept is so important, because when we talk about big dreams, it's like big dreams, like the people who actually, like, I mean, let's talk about successful people. The people who are actually successful, that have patterns of success, understand that it takes time for things to pan out and time for things to take root, in a lot of hard work before any results are even seen. And I think that, like, when we talk about this concept of like, where are we dreaming? Like, your heart should be, God, how are you going to interrupt my day? Like, how are you going to change my course? But also, give me the perseverance to do the little things well. Right? Because that's how you're going to accomplish the dream that God has put in front of you. Because we've been in ministry. We've seen all these guys with great ideas, really great ideas, like good concepts, great ideas. No follow through, no work ethic. Don't really want to push past a couple weeks of having that idea, and then it's a flash in the pan and it's gone. And like, I've been guilty of that. I don't know if you guys have ever been guilty of that. Like, I want it, and I want it now, and I don't really want to put the work in. And as I've gotten older, I realize, man, it takes a lot of work to see a little result that might make a difference. That's a bigger result later on.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, that was great. That was deep. Thanks, Jack Handy. Those are deep thoughts. So, I mean, I think that the reality that we have to face is that God has a big dream for us. It's eternity, and he has a big dream for us here, and it's us carrying out the plan he has for each of us. We all exist in this time and place because God placed us here at this time and place. God is that intentional in creation that we are here right now because God intended us to be. So we have to figure out, what does God want from me now? What's God's big dream, big plan for me? And then do it. Stop building our own kingdom and build his. And then watch what he does. So I encourage you, if you're listening to this, pray every day before your feet hit the floor, Lord, interrupt my plans with yours, and then be okay with it. That means your day is going to change. It's going to go sideways. And hopefully by the end of it, you look back over the week and say, I have such a peace and joy. I've been so busy serving God, but I am fulfilled. And that's the hope. That's the dream for you. So thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next episode of the HOTLCast, and hopefully we'll see you Sunday at HOTL.